Hi, I'm Maddie. I'm Vintage Place here on YouTube, and I want to apologize for not making a video in a little while. I had some family stuff and life stuff come up, but in the past 48 hours, I've really been getting back into the YouTube and eBay groove. I've spent a few hours consecutively listing, so that feels really good to just be putting more time into my business again. Because I did take a little bit of a break, which of course affects sales, but I had a lot of my other platforms, not eBay, make up for the lack of sales on eBay. And something really exciting happened yesterday. I found my first Trapper Keeper in the wild, and I've always wanted to find one, and it's taken me a long time to come across one. But this one is vintage from 1993, and of course, the real dream would be to find a vintage Lisa Frank Trapper Keeper, but I'm happy with this one, of course. And I did pay up for it a little bit. I paid $8, but I definitely will still make some profit. And I'm just really happy to check that off my bucket list for finding in the wild. Okay, so this video is going to be my favorite September sales from eBay and Depop, particularly because those are the platforms I put the most time and energy into. The other platforms I kind of just use List Perfectly to cross post to, and I don't send out offers all the time, even though I should, especially on Mercari and Poshmark. But I decided to focus on eBay and Depop today. And if there's another platform you would like to see me focus on, let me know. I do Mercari, Poshmark, Bonanza, Facebook Marketplace, and Etsy, as well as these two. So yeah, let's just start. Okay, so this first item that I'm going to share is this Marx figure from the 1950s. It is from the Arctic Explorer Alaska playset, and it is the figure that is pushing the sled. And this guy is not very big. That's how large it is, or how small it is. And the buyer paid the full sale price for this of $33.11, and they were all in for $41.23 for just this small figure, which is awesome. And I bought this in a lot, but I probably had about $3 into it after dividing it all out. Okay, next I want to show this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles new in the package figure. It's from 2007, so definitely retired. I got this for $4 from Salvation Army, and I accepted a best offer of $35 because the buyer messaged me and said they were in Canada and asked me if I would be kind enough to accept a lower offer just because shipping through the global shipping program was going to be pretty pricey. And they were all in for $44.90 for this figure. Okay, next is this wooden Canada Goose Decoy. I paid $5 at an estate sale for this, and I sent an offer to a liker actually for $49.50, and the buyer was all in for $68.75 because they lived across the country, and I used a lot of bubble wrap for this, so I bumped the shipping up to the next pound rate. Okay, the next item is this Marx Wheel. It's just the front wheel to this Marx helicopter, and I've had this helicopter twice before, and I always part out the wheels and the propellers because people are looking for those to replace in their own sets they have at home. Like they'll already have the helicopter body, but they'll need the smaller parts. So I took a best offer of $19 for this little tiny wheel, and the buyer was all in for $26.16. And I had about $3 into this. I bought it in a lot, but if I divide it all out, it was about $3. Okay, next is this miniature dollhouse mug and kitchen rack. And I bought this in a lot again, but I probably had about $5 into it. And I took a best offer of $35, and the buyer was all in for $42.51. And that same buyer actually came a few minutes later and bought another piece from this exact set, but they paid separately. So yeah. Okay. Next is this educational puppet. It's from the Letter People series. It is the L puppet. And I found this at a thrift store for 99 cents, and someone had donated almost all of the letters. So I picked them, all the ones I could find up, and I think I ended up with like 10 of them. And so far, two of them have sold, and I listed them maybe 2 weeks ago. So I'm expecting more to sell in the next few weeks or so. But the buyer paid the full asking price of $26.99, and they were all in for $34.55. Next is this Loving Family Dollhouse replacement part. It is the first floor. It just folds out, and it's pretty big. I don't know if I put a ruler in the photos. This is before I knew that I should put a ruler in every photo. But the buyer paid the full asking price of $17.99, and they were all in for $35.57 because this was really big. I had to use two priority mailboxes and kind of Frankenbox it. So yeah, this was pretty big. It wasn't oversized, but definitely large. And I got this from a dollhouse that I parted out. I probably had about $2 into it after I divided out. Okay, next is this Douglas dog plush. I picked this plush up because it is a very specific breed, and I was able to figure out the breed with Google Lens. And I paid $2 for this at Salvation Army. I took a best offer of $17, and the buyer was all in for $28.04. Okay, next is this Artisan Miniature ship, like a model ship. And I sent an offer to a liker of $31.50, and they accepted, and they were all in for $39.58. And I probably have about $5 into this. Again, I bought this in a lot, like I do with most dollhouse items. The next item is this vintage turtle plush. I picked this up because I thought it was cool because the shell is actually removable. Let me find a photo. Yeah, the turtle actually comes out of the shell, which I thought was pretty unique. This is from 1992. I paid 25 cents for this at a thrift store, and it sold for the full sale price of $20.01. The buyer was all in for $25.16. Next is this Thai Fluffy Duck, which I always try to look for, but I rarely find them, so I was pretty excited to find this. I paid $2 for this at Salvation Army, and it sold for the full sale price of $16.55, and the buyer was all in for $22.05, and this sold in like 2 days maybe. So that was pretty exciting. Okay. Next is this vintage Playschool plush doll. I think I paid like $1 for this at an estate sale. I bought a lot of stuffed animals and dolls, and they kind of just threw a bunch of stuff in, random stuff in. So I probably have about $1 into this. And it sold for the full sale price of $35.87, and the buyer was all in for $44.28. And the reason this sold for so much is because the squeaker inside of it actually works, which I feel like, or that I learned, was kind of rare. Like oftentimes the squeaker doesn't work anymore. So yeah, and mine worked. Okay, next is this vintage artisan micro crochet plush pig. It's this tiny pig, and it was somehow crocheted by someone very talented. And this sold for a best offer of $20. And the buyer bought this with two other items. They were all farm themed items, which I thought was cool. Like I think they were trying to set up a miniature display with a farm theme. And for all three items, they were all in for $42.42. And I paid like $5 for that. And the last eBay item is this vintage Barbie dining room hutch. I got this at the bins. I was digging at the bottom of a bin, and I found some Barbie furniture, which I like to sell individually because people will be looking for replacement parts, especially for vintage stuff. So I took a best offer of $11 for this, and the buyer was all in for $23.16 because it's pretty big. But the toys at my bins are pretty cheap, so I paid probably about $1 for this. And then the next few sales are from Depop. This one is just a vintage knit sweater. I sell a lot of grandpa dad sweaters on Depop, and I probably paid about $5 for this, and I sold it for $23 plus shipping. Next is this denim shirt with Halloween embroidery. Of course, I tried to post this like about a month and a half before Halloween, and it sold very quickly for $25. I think I paid $5 for this as well. Oh, and buyer paid shipping too. Next are these Tommy Hilfiger chunky Y2K boots. And I took a best offer of $65 for this, and the buyer also paid $15 shipping. And these sold in like a day. So that was pretty cool. I paid $7 for this at Goodwill. It was half off day. It was originally $14, but I only paid 7. And last is this grandma sweater. I also sell a lot of grandma sweaters on Depop. That's probably like my main item that I sell, or main style that I sell. I think I bought this at a church rummage sale. It was fill a bag for $3, so I probably have $1 less into this. And it sold for $22 plus shipping. Okay, yeah, that was really it for this video. If you have any comments or a favorite item, let me know down in the comments. And thank you for the new subscribers I have. Yeah, so see you next time.